PLA, print to part. Oh no, Ethan's print failed. He should use the labeled PLA collection bins so his failed print can be recycled into new parts. First he checks the rules. Then he finds the bin that corresponds to the color of his PLA. Now it can be shredded and injection molded into something new. The first step to processing the collected PLA is shredding. We use a plastic granulator whose blades crush the PLA into small pieces. Under the blades there's a 6mm screen which ensures the output is small enough to injection mold. When you pull the top down, there's a safety that must be screwed tight for the machine to run. At the bottom, there's a metal drawer where the PLA shreds will be deposited. The green button turns the machine on and the blades will begin spinning. Once the shredder is on, you can begin feeding the PLA scraps into the top of the machine. Be careful not to put your hand in too far, and use another object as a pusher if necessary. When your material has finished shredding, press the red button to turn the machine off. You can then remove the drawer, and your PLA shreds are ready to be injection molded. The injection mold machine we use is called the Morgan press. The first step is to take the mold out of the press and screw in our SLA printed mold insert. Before placing the mold insert into the base, spray it with a small amount of mold release to help remove the parts from the mold. While screwing down the mold, try to tighten each side evenly. The mold should be level with the base. Once the mold insert is secured, it can be slid back into the press and held in place by alignment screws. Now let's take a closer look at the Morgan press components. This box shows the barrel temperature on top and the nozzle temperature on the bottom. The red dial on the bottom panel can be turned to adjust the clamping pressure and corresponds to the first eye level pressure gauge with red numbers. Additionally, the black dial controls the injection pressure and corresponds to the second pressure gauge with black numbers. The red knob is the clamp pressure regulator and causes the plate to elevate to the nozzle. The black knob is the ejection control valve, which depresses the piston a set distance based on the timer valve. Next, you'll find the material loading chute where you insert PLA shreds into the barrel. Between every shot, fill the barrel and clear extra PLA from the edges of the piston. The piston then presses the PLA through the nozzle, so you'll need to use the powered turn knob to push the piston back up after each shot. Ethan is going to demonstrate how to create a part. First, press the clamp pressure regulator knob and pull down the cage until the table clamps up to meet it. Then hold down the guard on the loading chute and press the injection control valve until it releases. Give time for the plastic to cool in the mold before you pull down the table so the part is not damaged. We typically wait around 30 to 60 seconds. Once the plastic has had ample time to cool, you can pull the pressure knob out and pull down the cage to unclamp the mold. When the bottom is reached, pull the cage back up and remove the mold from the machine to carefully extract the finished part.